What's up, guys? Luis Pacheco here. I'm super excited to be back with another video on my channel. It's been a minute, but I'm super excited to be back. I am doing a audio sample of my new LP loop session that I'm selling on my website, luispacheco.co. These are available for purchase for $50. It's basically just a basic loop session that you can use in your services to be able to incorporate loops in your service, incorporate click. I have worship loops with drones. I have swing gospel loops. I have shout loops, praise loops. And then for all my Latinos, I have some Latin loops, a merengue loop and a salsa loop, which I feel will be a huge blessing to everybody who purchases. I literally use this session for just about every service that I'm a part of that I get to MD. And sure, I do use multi-tracks for everything, but when we go off script or we're not using a track or anything like that, I like to be prepared. And so I do have my loops, shout loops, worship loops, all that stuff. So I'm going to sample each loop so you can hear how it sounds in the context and all that stuff. So here we go. So as you can see here on the right, I have five worship loops actually. Sorry. I have worship loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. I have Heart of Worship, which is what I use for that song, Heart of Worship. And then I have a 6/8 worship loop. I have 2 gospel swing loops. I have 3 shout loops. I have 3 praise loops. And like I said, I have a merengue loop and I have a salsa loop. So I'm going to play loop 1. Worship loop 1. I did mention that I have drones, and so if you open this, they're grouped. If you open this tab, you have every key. You have C, C sharp, D, E flat. I don't know why it says D sharp, but it's E flat, E, F, F sharp, G, A flat, A, B flat, B. And so basically I have it on each worship loop, and you could just go ahead and turn on, whatever loop, whatever key you're in for that song or whatever you're doing. And so when you buy it, this drone will be off just automatically, but you can always turn that on. So here's worship loop 1 with in the key of E, the drone. And here I am to worship, here I am to bow down. You can just kind of context, just so you can kind of hear what that would sound like. Here's worship loop 2. It's a little different, just gives you a different variation of, it just gives you options. Each loop gives you a different option, a different sound that would work in different songs. So that's worship loop 2. On the right here, you can see the BPM, so you can always just, change that BPM to whatever BPM you need. Here's worship loop 3. You got a shaker with the snap and the tambo, which is really nice. Let's change this drum just because that key got boring already. Let's try G. Sorry, you have to bear with my singing today. So that's that. Here's Heart of Worship, and I'm gonna actually change that. Here we go, Heart of Worship. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. That's that. Here's your 6/8 worship loop. And then we got 2 swing gospel loops. Here's the first one. There is power, power, wonder working power In the blood of the Lamb. Second one. That one moves. Yeah. I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. Super churchy. And then we get to my favorite part. This is the shout loops. Here's the first one. So this one moves. Here's one of my favorites. And then my all-time favorite. Then we got a praise loop. Here's praise loop 1. Here's praise loop 2. So this would work in context like, open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see. That works there. Here's praise loop 3. This is my favorite one. And then we get into the Latin stuff, which is my favorite. Anytime I'm doing a Spanish conference, it never fails. And everybody asks for it. But percussion is not a big deal as it used to be. You don't see really much of congueros or timbaleros or, cowbells, all those things. And so I love that. If I'm playing Latin music, I want to feel that percussion. Unfortunately, it's not a big thing. There's not many percussion players these days in churches, things like that. So I've decided that I would use a loop, a merengue loop, but I wanted it to be like a real sounding merengue loop. So I have a merengue and a mambo loop joined, which is what you see here too. The loop 2. This is mambo and the merengue, and it just creates like this really nice sound that I really appreciate. Any Spanish conference you'll hear me play at, you'll hear this loop when we play Bendíceme. So I'll play both of them separately and together. So here's that merengue loop together with both loops. All right, so here's just a merengue loop. And then here's a mambo loop. That big huida. You add both of them, you get this. Just creates a fuller percussive sound that just I can really appreciate. And last but not least, I have a salsa loop, and here's what that sounds like. Big cowbell. Congas. And this works for like old coritos. Pon aceite en mi lámpara, Señor. Pon aceite. It works for that older stuff or just any kind of salsa you're doing. This is a great loop for that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this loop session is just kind of your Kickstarter. This is what's going to help you just kind of get started with implementing loops in your services. And you can purchase it on my website at luispacheco.co.co. Just go into resources, multi-tracks, and then it'll be called LP Loops. It's $50. It's not expensive for what you're getting. It's not a lot of money, but I promise you will probably use this at every service you MD or you play at. And I know I do. I use it for every service that I get to be a part of. And it's such a great tool, such a great resource that you can use in your local church starting tomorrow if you were to purchase this. This is on an Ableton 11 session, so just keep that in mind whenever you do purchase. This is compatible with Ableton 11. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative. I hope you kind of get an idea of what to expect when you purchase this loops pack. But yes, I am excited about new content on my website that's coming up. I'm gonna have some new merch that's gonna be dropping here pretty soon. I'm also working on a master class on how to build tracks for your services the way that I do it, doing MIDI cues and all that good stuff, which is super exciting if you're into that kind of stuff. But that'll be on my website up soon. Working on new tracks with buddies of mine. We're trying to get more songs that there isn't multi-tracks available for, especially in the Spanish world. There's a lot of songs from up-and-coming artists that have great worship songs, but unfortunately you can't do these songs in your services because there's no stems available. Well, we're working on a lot of those, and even some of the classics, some of your favorite ones that you might not like the way the original stems are, and you're looking for more of a worship full multi. We're going to be providing those. So we're working hard. I'm working hard. We're trying to just create as much content and resources for the body of Christ, for our fellow musicians, for our fellow music directors that do this and that want to get better and take their worship team to the next level. I'm committed to be able to help provide those resources. And that's what my website is all about. And so I'm super excited to be able to offer these resources. And I pray that these things are a blessing to you. I know, there's a cost. And honestly, if I could, I would just give all my stuff out. But, everything that is on the website and that I do isn't just me. I have friends that are collaborating that I want to be able to bless, to be able to continue to contribute and continue to build these resources for you and for whoever may need them around the world. We just want to be a blessing. We want to be able to bless those with these resources. And so I pray this blesses you. I pray this loop session helps you. Also, if you're wanting to better your live stream audio, I'm currently selling a broadcast template for Logic Pro X and Waves plugins. It's $300. I know it seems like a lot, but my buddy Steven Gonzalez, incredible audio engineer, he built this session. He built this template, and the template is just phenomenal. Sounds great. Such a great tool. I would highly recommend you purchasing it. If you think that's a little over your budget or whatever, we are currently working also on a Logic Pro broadcast template, but this one doesn't require Waves plugins. It's going to have all Logic native plugins that you can, whenever you use Logic, you can just, it'll be set that you don't have to use any third-party plugins. And then for our Ableton users, if you're looking for a broadcast template for Ableton, that's coming soon. And that'll be on my website here pretty soon. Now, I'm excited about that. Again, these resources are just to help you, to help your church, to help grow your ministries. I know that most of our churches, if you're like me, you're in a volunteer-based church. And so you have to create these you want the quality, you want the excellence, but you might not have that kind of personnel or the money to be able to pay for somebody to come out and install this and do it for you. Well, now this is a great way that you can purchase it and install it yourself and have a base template that sounds great for your services, and not much has to be done besides volumes or things like that. So that's on my website. Sorry, I'm blabbering. I'm talking a lot, but I just want to communicate these resources that are out on my website right now, available for you to purchase. So check it out. And I'm excited to be doing some more of these videos. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. You know what it is. Subscribe, like this video, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody that you think this will benefit. So I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.